Good morning. Happy Friday, March 26th, 2021. I don't know why I said 2021. I don't ever say 2021. Already got somebody. Wow, here we go. Happy Friday. NCAA games being Saturday through Tuesday instead of Thursday's whack, but we'll preserve. That's right, we will preserve. I'm going live on Twitter now. I figured out how to do that, so that's exciting. We're going to pump these numbers up, baby. Keep going. I see it already. I love it. Happy Friday to everybody. Feeling good. Great show today. Frank the Tank is going to stop by, the legend. He's gotten out of the hospital. We followed his journey there, so we're good to go, man. He's going to stop by and hang with us today. Then we got follower Q&A. Happy Friday, Closetti. Happy Friday to everybody tuning in. Thank you. We're going to follower Q&A as well, but I got to start off. Subscribe to the channel below, of course. I got to do it. Subscribe. Like these videos. We're continuing to grow, so do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel live every single day, 9 to 10 a.m. on YouTube and on Twitter now as well, which is very, very exciting. I'm really, really pumped about that because, as we can see, more and more people keep joining, and I'm loving it. So thanks for being here. Subscribe to the channel. Link to the merch below. Indian Sanity merch, Juju and Big Ben One Last Ride merch, Cup of Joey mug. Right here, I got it per usual. Cup of Joey Dad hat, all here. Very, very good. Very exciting. We got the Glazing 5. Glaze it up today. We're going to Boyden's Bakery. Boyden's Bakery, I went this morning with Happy and got some good stuff there. So we're going to have that, and then we're going to have Frank the Tank. But I got to start with something that I woke up to, and it was completely asinine. Mark Caboli, he is a beat writer who follows the Steelers and covers the Steelers for The Athletic, right? He decides to wake up this morning, and as I say on TikTok, he decides to wake up and choose violence. This man says, unpopular take, The Office isn't funny at all. Now, let me preface. I get that it's annoying when somebody's whole personality is a show, right? If you're so into The Office that you're always doing that's what she said, or you're always quoting it, or you're talking about, you become the Office guy. Oh, it reminds me of the Office episode where Andy does that. That is a little bit annoying. But on the other end, you can't sit there and the only reason that you would say something like that it isn't funny at all, is you're just stirring the pot. Even me, I hate the show Friends. I think it's overhyped. I don't get it. It's to 90s for me. I think Phoebe is overwritten and annoying. I don't like the show. A lot of people do. But even me, as somebody who doesn't like Friends and enjoy Friends, I can say, you know what? Chandler's pretty funny. You know, Phoebe can be too much sometimes, but she has some one-liners that get you. Joey, like Joey. Even you can admit that. But it's, it's this trend on Twitter and online where you do the unpopular this is just so you get more popular. It's a circle. Unpopular opinion, and the unpopular opinion is going to get everybody riled up because it's something that's so popular that then everybody's quote tweeting you like I did. But I mean, come on, Caboli. The whole series, every single character, every episode, the whole series, not one of it's funny. Not one time that you were like, oh man, I've been there before in an Office situation. If he would have said unpopular take, I think The Office is overrated. Totally different. Okay, I think Friends is overrated. I think Frasier is overrated. I've only seen a handful of episodes. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say I think Game of Thrones is a little bit. Yeah, people are just buying in. But I don't sit here and say Game of Thrones is the worst show ever, or say Friends isn't funny at all. I've never laughed at Friends. People do that all the time with The Office, with Seinfeld. It's like, dude, they're where they are. They're those shows for a reason, man. They're those shows for a reason. Morning, Clay. So Kaboli just woke up this morning. I woke up. I'm going to get donuts. I check my phone. I see what Kaboli says. I'm like, here we go. What a way to start a Friday, opening up Twitter and seeing that. Will Compton was like, what'd he say? My buddy Will Compton, he quote tweeted, it was like, I just knew when I opened this app this morning that I was going to be pissed off. And there you go. That's the first thing. And when it comes to the debate about The Office and Parks and Rec, you know, a lot of people, again, they're kind of like they're kind of like the NBC hipsters, you know. The Office gets all the hype, but really, Parks and Rec is the best one. It's like, okay, no. It's like when you have a first kid and the second kid. You know, that's why I'm afraid to have more than one kid, because The Office came first, and you fell in love with The Office so much. And then Parks and Rec came along. Parks and Rec is still good. It's still funny, but you don't love it as much as you love The Office. No way. No way. So come on, Kaboli. He needs to start a segment of that called "Come On, Kaboli." Because sometimes his takes, man. I'm so tired of the word takes. These are my takes because I am a announcer and a radio host, and I need to have takes because takes are my life. I was out at I was grabbing dinner last night, and I wrote it down in my notes because I just had to talk about it. I don't get the certain breed of people, and it's always the same kind, that are at a local spot on a weeknight, not too crowded, you know, not too crowded, but not dead. But always, man, always, two middle-aged folks, a guy with a goatee, probably some boots on, and they're just getting after it at a table. I mean, it's like 7:30 in the evening on a Thursday, and they're sitting on the same side. Don't like that. Sitting on the same side. He's got like his hand almost, you know, around her backside, right? Leaning in. She's leaning in. They're kind of making out a little bit and like kind of rubbing noses. I'm like, I'm just trying to eat some dirty tots here. Why is it always maybe it's just like the middle-aged divorcees that, you know, they're out and about and they're getting wild and they just don't care, you know, because they're like, what do I have to lose? What up, Periscope? Hey. Yeah, there we go. All right. This is great. Katie, good morning. Maybe it just sucks. But why is it always like that? You'll always find those people at a bar, a local spot on a weeknight where you're like, do you have to work tomorrow? Like, are you already that drunk that you're just like not giving a shit and making out right here, right now? You get to that point in life, like I said, you just don't care. You just don't give a shit, man. You've been through it all, gotten divorced. This guy. Seriously, though. Goatee, you know, like a Harley or like a Ed Hardy shirt on. And he's just making moves. You know, he's got one thing on the mind, and it ain't the food coming. From Chris, couple sitting on the same side of the table. Never understood that. Yeah, me either. I would rather go eat by myself than be a couple sitting on the same side of the table. You know? I mean, because then like you're just this way? Yeah, this is great. This is so Your food good? Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe they just want to like feed each other. I don't know. Yeah, people give you shit about like eating alone. I'm like, I'd rather eat alone. I don't care. I'd eat alone than sit on the same time. My wife does this weird thing now where like if we go out with another couple, she's like, well, don't you want to like sit across from me? I'm like, No, if we're with another couple, like we'll sit next to each other, and then the other couple will sit next to each other also. What do you what do you mean? One time it got to the situation where we're out with another couple, and so then I'm sitting. So she wanted to sit across from me. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then my buddy sits next to her, and then his girl sits next to me. So I'm like, so now we're on separate dates. Now we're not even dating anymore. now they're bringing the check to me for this chick. Okay. Oh shit! Hey, we got the man, Frank the Tank. Frank.
Hey, how's it going?
Good morning, man. Good to meet you online. I know we haven't gotten to meet yet, so it's good to talk to you, dude. How are you?
All right.
Yeah, you feeling better after returning from the hospital?
Yeah. The wound vac's a pain in the ass, but other than that.
Yeah. Okay. So what's next for you? I mean, you're back in the office. You're feeling good. I mean, what's the next on the road to recovery for Frank the Tank?
Getting the wound vac fucking taken off.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. You got your Mets shirt on right now? Lindor, yep. We feeling good? How is this the year the Mets put it together?
I hope so. They've actually had a decent spring. Bullpen's had a little bit of a couple of issues. Familia sucks.
Yeah.
Betances needs to be just cut.
I saw you tweet that the other day. Yeah. He was. I mean, but Betances was. I feel like he fell off pretty hard because there for a while he was like Betances was a dude. I felt like, and then now you're saying he just needs to go.
He can't top 88 miles per hour.
Oh man,
his velocity's down. He's just going to get pounded if he gets in there. The velocity is he just can't get his pitches. I mean, unless he finds a way to pitch with no velocity anymore.
How'd you feel about them celebrating the World Series, like the mock World Series? Did you care about that, or did you like it?
That was just a big deal. I don't. Someone had the camera on. I'm sure every team does something like that.
Sure.
When the cameras aren't rolling. But of course, it's the New York Post. Look at the shameful Mets.
I didn't mind it. I was like, hey, I mean.
But if the Yankees did that, the Yankees are showing how they expect to win because they're expected to win. The Mets, right. They should not re-sign Francisco Lindor. They should wait.
Are you getting a?
This is going over the top of the Yanks.
Are you getting a Lindor jersey?
I don't know if they sign him maybe. And then the Yankees, they know what they're doing. They're always right. Wow. The Mets, maybe I should wait.
So, were you born into Mets fandom, or did you just choose them yourself?
I chose them myself. Mid '80s when they were winning championships, and Dwight Gooden was dominating.
Yeah, Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry. I wasn't around yet, but I know those legendary teams. I'm excited for. I mean, I always have a little vendetta against the Mets a little bit, and it's all wiped away because 2016. I'm a Cubs guy, so 2016 we figured it out, but 2015, man, Daniel Murphy, I'll never forget that shit. It's just a dagger in the heart.
And of course, the Mets let Daniel Murphy go after that because he's a net negative. He doesn't field well. They don't really need him. They could get Neil Walker, who's just so mediocre. He's even got a mediocre name.
He does. That's a very run of the mill name there. Neil Walker. He sounds like he should be a pastor of like a church in the Midwest or something like that. And then he's playing second base for you guys. So you're a Nets fan as well.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Are you scared at all about Harden and Kyrie and Durant? It's like it's either going to be amazing or it's just going to self-destruct.
Well, it's been amazing so far. Harden's been just nothing sort of just awe-inspiring. Durant, it'd be nice to see him get back on the court. And Kyrie, we just got to hope that he's in the mood to play.
Right. Have you been to see them live yet?
No.
Are they allowing people out there?
Yeah, going to games in New York's a little bit of a hassle. Yeah, you got to like show a Vax card or have like a COVID test and things like that, and show them proof. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, you just go to the game. They don't take the ask those requirements. But trying to get the vaccine in New Jersey, yeah. The first minute you click the button to register for vaccine, you hear
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed
Mr.
that
Phelps.
because I know you went and saw the Devils with Rowan, and that was great. So
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to get the vaccine in New Jersey. Welcome to Mission Impossible.
Did you? So you didn't have the opportunity to get it, even though you were hospitalized for a bit there. The vaccine.
Yeah, the hospital says we don't help people get anything. We just give them the least possible service possible.
Is there anything that they? I mean, I feel like you put them on blast enough that I mean, I feel like you had to have brought change, Frank. I feel like that the cable and the TV situations, at least, or maybe the pillow situation, at least, has to be better there now, right?
Well, they found one pillow somewhere that was a little bit better,
Yeah.
but these pillows literally could slide under the door.
I'm with you, man. I need firm. I need.
And by the way, they had the bathroom door next to the entrance door, and I was coming out of the bathroom, and someone was coming in, and almost knocked me to the floor.
Oh my gosh!
There's the two doors smacked together.
Oh man, what's the update on the unit house with you and Doug's? I'm excited about that.
That search is just beginning.
Yeah. Okay. What are we thinking? Are we staying East Coast? Are we going, Miami with Dave?
Somewhere in New Jersey, probably.
Yeah. That'll be nice. Are there any other units besides you and Doug's that will be able to join?
No, the structural integrity would probably be at risk.
Have you been to Indianapolis before? That's where I'm located right now. Have you ever been out to Indiana?
No.
No? You any desire?
Maybe one day.
It's I mean, I think you'd enjoy it. You're big, obviously you're a big sports guy. We host a lot of things. The Indy 500. I could see Frank the Tank tearing up the Indy 500 in the month of May.
Yeah, I can see that doing that one day.
Do you know anything? I mean, are you familiar with it at all? Is there just like something that you like just know about that's on TV in May and that's it?
I know about it in TV and that's it. I know a little bit about NASCAR. Open wheel racing the last 30 years has been just not dead. It really used to be that in the open wheel racing, Indy League had the stars and they have no stars anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know jack shit about anything else besides IndyCar, just because it's such a thing with
Yeah. What happened was they had like 2 leagues at one point come out, rival leagues, and like ripped the whole sport apart, and it has not recovered.
Man, yeah, I like I said, Indy 500. That's it. IndyCar.
Yeah, when the IRL started, the Indy Racing League. That like ripped the league apart. They ripped the sport apart.
Man, are you and right now? Is Frank and the Frankettes? Are you guys the running favorite for the dozen trivia?
Hey, we're the fans. Number one. That's all that counts to us.
That's true. But you guys are also number one in general, right? I mean, you're
No, the computer always keeps putting the yak ahead of us. Because the computer is actually the yak. I believe put a virus in there.
Yeah, that's Roan and Big Cat, right?
Yes.
You can't trust that Roan character sometimes, man. You never know. He's a sneaky dude. I don't know. I could see him doing that for sure. Are you so you're full time with Barstool now? Like what's the difference? I mean, living the dream, right? You dropped your old job and now you're just here and you're just making content and living it up.
Yep. As soon as I'm done, I'm gonna get ready and start going in today.
Yeah. What's the commute like for you? What are you listening to on the commute to the office?
Believe it or not, I typically don't listen to anything.
Yeah. Just
I don't listen to anything while I'm on the train.
okay. You're making your movies, right?
Different things. When I go walk, that's when I go walking.
Okay. Yeah. Are you doing that every day, or is it just?
I'm trying to lately. It's been a little tougher with this wound vac attached, but
right.
Once that thing is gone, I know I could do it every day. I've tried to do it a couple times this week, and it's not been too bad.
Okay. Well, I know you went to Detroit for the Super Bowl when we were opening up the sportsbook out there. I'm hoping that the sportsbook will be coming to Indy next month. And so when that happens, then we'll have to see if Dave can send you out here for that.
I know it's coming to New Jersey too.
Well, that's true. Yeah, so you're gonna be able to stay on your home turf, which is going to be really, really nice for both of us. But
I mean, one of these days, it's going to be legal in 50 states. Maybe not all 50 states. You have some of the peculiar states, like down south.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a couple states that didn't even have lotto yet.
I can believe that. I mean, Indiana just got alcohol on Sunday, like alcohol sales on Sunday legalized like last year, 2 years ago. So, and it's still not even the full day, Frank. It's 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So, we're baby stepping it. And now my dog is fucking happy to get down. Anyways, Frank, thanks for waking up with food.
Yeah, there's 6 states that don't have lotto.
Yeah. All in the South?
No, actually, one of them is actually Nevada.
Okay, that's weird.
But they probably want everyone in the casino, so that's why.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But here are the states. Tell me if these don't surprise you. Alabama, Alaska,
no,
Hawaii, Mississippi, and Utah. Utah will never allow sports gambling. Utah will never allow it. They want to ban alcohol and caffeine. They want to ban it. There's some like strict Mormons. They don't drink alcohol. They don't drink caffeine.
Have you watched Murder Among the Mormons on Netflix?
No.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit, but learning about the history of that shit's crazy. I'm with you. I'm not going to Utah anytime soon, Frank. I tell you that. Not for me. But hey, man.
But like I said, those states probably will be last to allow to have sports books. Well, Nevada already has a sports book, so that doesn't count.
Sure.
But Alaska and Hawaii, that kind of surprised me, the two of those.
Hawaii a little bit. Yeah, definitely. I just got this from JP. We got a comment. Utah is trying to ban porn on phones and tablets right now. So, yeah. It's just another feather in their cap, I guess. Hey, man, good to meet you. Thanks for waking up with me. I know you got to head into the office, and I'm glad you're back and feeling better, man, for real. So,
all right, thanks.
All
right, talk to you soon.
See you, buddy. That's Frank the Tank waking up with me. So we're trying to get him, Carl. We're trying to get him to come to Indy. Like I said, maybe we can get him out here when the sports book comes, and he can fly out here with Prez, and we can have ourselves a weekend. You know what I mean? So, all right, Frank the Tank. And I got a few people who said, "Hey, I'm here. I want to hear I want to see Boyden's. I want to see Boyden's Bakery." All right, let's get right to it. This week's Glazing 5. Let's glaze it up.
Glazing 5, number 2 at Boyden's Bakery, off of Meridian and Hannah, at the corner of Meridian and Hannah on the south side of downtown Indianapolis. It is kind of a little hole in the wall, but it's a south side staple. There's always kind of a little battle between Long's on the south side. Of course, they have a 16th Street location as well, but you got one on the south side off Southport Road that I'll hit eventually, and you got Boyden's, and I know my guy Joey Brunk from IU, he's always saying, hey, you got to give Boyden some more credit now. Everybody talks about Long. You got to give Boyden some more credit. So it's early on a Friday morning, and it's popping already. There's 3 or 4 people that are in line. It's like 6:20 a.m. I got Happy Boy with me. He's freaking out. He took a shit almost inside the apartment complex. I got him out just in time, but he left a nice little surprise for everybody on the stairs. I cleaned it up, of course. Cleaned it up. So get off my back. But yeah, so he's having a good morning. He's on a little venture with Dad. He's gonna be freaking out when I go in and pick up these donuts for the Glazing 5. But Boyden's Bakery, like I said, corner of Meridian and Hannah, about 10 minutes south of Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. Let's go check it out and see what we get with this week's Glazing 5. All right, Glazing 5, now in a box. Anytime you go to a sweets place and they come in just a box like this, you know it's about to slap, as the kids say. Like a happy boy here. Happy, say hi. Say hi. He was freaking out like I told you he would. Jumped up in the front seat, was making a scene. He's got separation anxiety. What can I say? He loves his dad.
Don't you, Bubba? Yeah.
So, alright, next box here. They taped it up. Even for a, yeah, there we go. Alright. What are we gonna start with, Happy Boy? Alright, so I got a blueberry cake, a red velvet cake, a Long John maple iced, a Long John white iced, and a regular yeast. You always gotta see what that's like. Let's just start with the regular yeast. Plain yeast, traditional classic donut, glazed. Yeah. Just what the doctor ordered. Really glazed, original. They have a sign, a big sign right there in the front. It says "Fresh Daily," talking about the donuts, and they're not lying. Soft, tasty. No, glaze is gonna be good when it's so fresh, and the glaze drizzle is so fresh that your thumb and your finger kind of sinks into the donut. I got I always have chocolate milk, and coffee and donuts is the old adage, but when you can get some cold, delicious, rich chocolate milk to go with your fresh donuts, deadly. Let's go with the blueberry cake. I told you last week with Jack's cake donuts, I am just a bitch for cake donuts. I go cake over, yeast or your traditional donut all day, every day. That yeast glaze was very good. Let's go with the blueberry one. See if it lives up to what Jack's brought. Jack's was super good last week. That was delicious. That was a delicious cake donut. Cake donuts always remind me of Home Alone. When, in the original, who, by the way, the mom from Schitt's Creek, that's the mom from Moira. That's the mom from Home Alone. It's amazing last year how many people just discovered that. Same person in real life. But in that scene when she calls the police office in Chicago to try to check on Kevin, and that one officer, he's eating the donut, and he's got the phone, and that piece of the cake donut just drops right on the bottom part of the phone. I don't know why I like that. I don't know if it's like some ASMR weird shit, but I feel like there's other people out there that do. You can tell a really good cake donut too, when it gets closer to the middle and there's almost a crunch. Not happy to sleeping. Hey, Bubba. This dude was freaking out when I was in there. Rightfully so. It's okay. I'm not leaving you. Alright, let's get into Long John. Maple icing, like I said last week. Give me a maple or a white icing over traditional chocolate any day. Man, yeah, I hit the nail on the head. I mean, You gotta love when somebody openly, a lot of places try to advertise different things about, hot and fresh or fresh daily. Boyden's has fresh daily, and they really mean it, man. This stuff is like sink your teeth into, just fresh, soft, really good. Like I said, it's hopping. I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 people consistently in line here on a Friday morning. And they're all looking into my car thinking I'm nuts because I'm just talking to a camera here. All right, let's get real wild. Let's finish off and let's try a red velvet cake donut. Red velvet cake, obviously one of those like you either love it or you hate it type of deals for birthday cakes or just for like cakes in general. So a donut version. Good donut. All the makings you want out of a cake donut. Thick, a little crunchy. I think for me, red velvet it triggers in my mind so much of just like birthday cake. I kind of think of it that way, so it's a little weird with the transition here. Still good. Again, Boyden's Bakery, corner of Meridian and Hannah, south side of Indy. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 for Boyden's Bakery. You don't want to get crazy and hand out perfect 5s, but I mean, it's damn near that. Super good. Fresh. They broadcast it, they advertise that right in front of your face when you walk in, and they mean it. Fresh donuts, tasty, a lot of variety. I had red velvet cake, multiple cakes. Long Johns, there's cream filled in there, and they had sprinkles, of course. We talked about sprinkles last week. And it's, it's just got kind of that, like, little hole-in-the-wall donut shop feel. Everybody's carrying out with the plain boxes, and it has the open flashing sign that's, like, old school that, like, lights up one letter at a time going across. Not too big. Got the hot coffee sign as well. So, Boyden's Bakery, 4.4 out of 5. On this week's Glazing 5. Let's glaze it up.
Yeah, Glazing 5. Boyden's Bakery, super, super good. Jack's last week, Boyden's today. Special guest appearance by Happy. Thank God. He's the best. And he's, he goes through these 15-minute spurts, where he's super, super, he's a puppy. So he goes through these 15-minute spurts where he's super hyper and crazy. And then he'll just cash out for like 2 hours. So now he's luckily cashing out on the tile floor. But while that donut review is going on, he's fucking sitting up on top of the couch and biting the blinds. I don't know. That's a puppy for you. So it's been a great show so far. Reminder for those who are just here, join in now. Subscribe to the channel. Link for that below. Link for the Cup of Joey merch, mug, dad hat, the Juju One Last Ride shirt, Indian Insanity stuff. That's all below. So thanks for being with me. From Matt, what's good, Joey? How are you feeling about your Steelers next year? I get a lot of questions about the Steelers whenever I do a Q&A, rightfully so. I lukewarm. Lukewarm. And when I say lukewarm, I mean if they can add some depth in the offensive line, if they could draft a guy like Travis Etienne, then I feel good about protecting Big Ben, having one last ride with him like I had made for that T-shirt with him and Juju. So I'm thinking 9-7, 10-6, something like that. Right around there. So lukewarm, they're not going to be terrible. I saw Mike Tannenbaum said to Dave Damashek that he's going to be they were going to be a bottom 5 team. I don't buy into that. They still have too good of a pass rush, too good of a front defensively. They're getting Devin Bush back at the linebacker position. And maybe they draft a guy like J.C. Horn. Maybe they draft a guy like J.C. Horn out of South Carolina in the first round. So lukewarm, like I said, about 10-6. I had them at 12-4 last year. Was right about that. And I'd say about 10-6 now. I don't really want to talk about the Jets right now. From Incredible One, is your buddy Ben going to get an opportunity at Barstool? You two are hilarious together. Well, thanks for that, number one. I hope so. I don't know. I don't make the calls, obviously. I'm just here in Indy, and I'm just trying to do what I can do and create good content and do this live show for you guys every morning. And I love that we're on Twitter now because all of you guys can join so much easier. But Ben is one of my best friends. He's in my wedding. I've known him my whole life. It's always been our dream together to kind of do what we're doing right now. Like, he is killing it with all of his platforms and stand up. And I'm obviously with Barstool, and whatever we can collab, we collab, and we love to do it. So, I can only hope, but I don't know. I don't make those calls. From Andrew, I'm curious if you've reviewed Dragons and Donuts in Castleton. Solid donut shop as well. Cookies and cream donut is a personal favorite. I haven't, but thank you for the suggestion, because just being an indie guy, I know of, like I said, the Jacks, the Boydens, the Longs, a couple others, but I'm always looking for expanding. Why is my nose so itchy? Why is there like nose hairs, Nose hair, armpit hair. It's just like, me and Ben joked about it on our show a long time ago. He might even have a stand-up bit about it, so I feel like I'm like taking his joke, but it's like God just had this, he was like, what? The angels or whatever brought humans to God, and we're like, okay, what do we do with like under here and like in their nose? We have this extra hair. Just put it in there. Anyways, fucking itchy as hell. But I'm always looking for suggestions to go for other donut shops for the Glazing 5 every Friday. So Dragons and Donuts, Castleton. I like it. Cool. From Garrett, saw you with the Cubs hat the other day. Now the Pirates. What's up with that? Yeah, man. I mean, like, yeah, it's just a Pittsburgh hat. Like, I love Pittsburgh. Obviously, I'm a huge Steelers fan, so and I just like the hat. Like, how you just have like shirts and jerseys and shoes and stuff, and just like different things that you just like. Like, I just like the look of it. Like, I just like the hat. It makes my hair look good. Like, it has a flow, and I have a giant head. All right, people make fun of me about it a lot, but I have a giant head. So there's only a handful of hats that look good on my head, actually, and this is one of them. So not a Pirates fan, definitely a Cubs fan, but I just like the hat. So there you go. Let's see, I love it. This is nice, man. DeWitt's Raps, thanks for continually putting Indy on. Of course, this is my hometown, man. I love it. Let's see. What are you shaking your head at, man? Oh, here we go. Yeah, no. I'll talk about the Jets for a little bit. Just at the time, I clicked on the wrong question. From Kevin, the Jets. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're going to take Zach Wilson. He's got his pro day coming up today, so we're going to see a whole lot of side eye emojis and like flame emojis on videos of him and pictures of him. I'm sure he'll do like a throw where he like does it behind his back, or like flips it between his legs, and everybody's like, he can make a throw from all angles. He can make the throw from all angles. I see a lot of Mahomes. So that'll happen. But, yeah, I mean, I like the new head coach a lot. I think he's one of those dudes that's just like such a football guy and brings so much energy. So I like that for them. I feel like he'll establish like a really good culture. And they'll get Zach Wilson probably. And, they got Mekhi Becton. They're going to have Zach Wilson. They got some young playmakers and Denzel Mims. And they just signed Corey Davis and LaMichael Pirine out of the backfield. So, it's about as good as it can get for Jets people right now. I mean, it's on the up and up, you can say, and it can't really get much worse. So, yeah. Joe Dog, my guy. Let's see. I'm going through here. Do I like Jalen Hurts? From H. Zakarski, your impersonations are crazy. Which impersonation is your favorite to do and why? Another popular question that I get whenever I do Q&A. I always say like there's really something that I like about each of them. I think just the most fun to do when I'm doing an impersonation is just like finding that character in terms of finding what situation they're in, right? Like, putting a Collinsworth in a Starbucks, or, having Andrew Luck talk about Harry Potter, or, just like things like that. Jimmy Fallon, when there's something like super serious going, like Jimmy Fallon at a funeral, it's like, that's morbid. But again, the situation of like, of course, Jimmy Fallon's still going to be like giggling and laughing, even in a very serious situation. So, that's my favorite part. I love doing all of them. They're all fun, but like finding those situations and putting those characters in those situations, that's the favorite part of it for me. Favorite toy as a kid. Man, I mean, my dad and me back in the day, in the 90s, because I'm like an actual 90s kid, like I hate like the 97 90s kids that are like, oh yeah, I'm a 90s baby. I'm like, no, dude, like you could barely walk and wipe your own ass by the time we got out of the 90s, like I vividly remember the 90s. But back in those times, like the Star Wars action figures and toys were not as pricey, obviously, as they are now. So, I mean, they would just load me up. And so, I mean, my favorite one, I had the Han Solo and the Stormtrooper, like a gun. Like they were like the most, not realistic, obviously, but like they were kind of authentic to where like they would make the same sounds as it and everything and like make the laser shooting sound. That was cool. Actually, they got me a Stormtrooper gun, from like the original trilogy. And it was for some reason it was white, like it was painted white. And I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I was like, I mean, I like it, but that's not what they really are. Like they're black in real life. And in the movies, they're black. So my dad went out, God bless him, and he spray painted the Stormtrooper gun black for me. So my crazy ass 5-year-old would stop bitching about it. Yeah, so any of the Star Wars ones, really. I mean, I still collect Star Wars, so yeah, it's still going, man. I do. From Bob, Pittsburgh greater than Indy. Yeah, I love Pittsburgh. We go there at least a couple times a year. Me and my family do. It's always the best. It feels like home, but I always have to give the nod to Indy just because it is my home. I mean, I grew up here. I was born here. I was raised here. I still live here. It's what I know. So I always go Indy, but I always consider Pittsburgh to be like my second home. Like my family, legitimately, my parents and me and my wife, kinda, but my parents for sure have actually had talks about like moving to Pittsburgh or the Pittsburgh area because we love it so much and we want to be closer to the Steelers and game day and everything. So let's see. Yeah, and another Berg question from Hayde23. When was the last time you made it there? Obviously, 2020 was a scratch. Although we were close, I think on Thanksgiving, even though we couldn't. No, yeah, that was when we were going to go, but then everything went to hell, so we didn't. But we were there in November of 2019. We saw them beat the Colts. Minka's 99-yard or 97-yard interception, pick six. The Miss Vinatieri kick. We were there for that game and that weekend. So that was the last time we made out there. From Glenn, has the IU coaching search reached dumpster fire status yet? Yeah, man, that's a good. I had Zach Kiefer on last week to talk about this, and he said at the time, he was like, I feel like they'll have, because of how they let Archie go, I feel like they'll have an answer by the middle of this current week. And now here we are Friday, and I really haven't heard a peep. All we've heard is from Rothstein, where he tweeted out, sources say that they're, really considering and want somebody who has strong ties to the rich basketball tradition in Indiana. So again, you go from that and you're kind of looking at saying, all right, so does that mean that it's, you take that and you try to narrow it down to, all right, is it a Dane Fife? Is it still like a Steve Alford out there? Some people were throwing earlier this week Isaiah Thomas at me. Calbert Chaney. Sage Steele tweeted about Calbert Chaney. So you look and you're like, okay, well, is it somebody who's a former player there? Somebody who's been on a staff? Like, what does that look like? Who has a strong understanding and tie to the rich basketball tradition there? I don't know. I won't say dumpster fire yet. I mean, look, they have to do their due diligence and they have to fucking knock it out of the park. And if that means they have to wait for the person that they want, then they got to do it because they have everybody transferring. Trace Jackson Davis is going to leave to go to the pros. So, I mean, it's not going to be good. Whoever comes in, like they're going to have their work cut out for them. So they have to take their time and get it right. Man, this is great. You guys are awesome. Thanks for waking up with me. God, I love this too. I finally figured out how to put it on Twitter too, because I know that there's people out there who would want to watch, obviously because the numbers are showing that. But I know just like going to YouTube is like an extra thing that people don't want to do. So I finally put in time, figured out almost a month into the show how to get it up on Twitter. And thanks so much for being with me, man. This is the best. I love it. From MWF_05, Condado Tacos, favorite taco on the menu. Yeah, man. I mean, I try to mix it up every time I go there. because there's so many options, and you can, it's like the Subway almost, or Penn Station or whatever of tacos, to where you can customize it so much that there's not like specific one that I'm like, yeah, that's the one. But Condado's is good. From Travis, anytime you do Tucker Carlson talking about anything other than politics is hilarious. Yeah, he, that's an impression that's fun to do for a variety of reasons. But again, finding that situation that you put him in, whether he's talking about his wife or talking about the national championship with Nick Saban, or like one of my personal favorite videos I've ever. Hey, Happy, chill out. I'm trying to do a show here. He's got a cup, so he's having fun. But yeah, I mean, like the WAP video where he's talking about WAP, it's like you could kind of probably see a clip of that showing up on Twitter where he's talking about that. I mean, it's on the border, So thanks, man. I appreciate that. From D-Walk 16, who is the one person you would want to meet that you haven't yet? Adam Sandler. Yeah. I feel as though I don't get starstruck like I used to, like I would have, when I was younger. But I feel like Sandler's the one that no matter what, it would be. I went to he was in Indiana. He was up in Noblesville, which is just outside of Indianapolis on the north side, performing in 2019, June of 2019. And me and Riley and my parents went and saw him. And so that was even crazy to just like see him live in person. But then if I got a chance to, talk to him and give him a fist bump or interview him or whatever, that would be insane. So Adam Sandler for sure. Yeah, JP, that's what I'm talking about. November 99, you're not a 90s kid, dude. You're a 2000s kid for sure. That second half of 90s, I honestly think maybe 95, 96 for sure. After that, that's a cutoff. You're a 2000s kid. So I just made the cutoff because I was 93. So I was 6, 7 years old. Those are some of my first memories coming about in like 98, 99, to where I, vividly remember that shit in the 90s. But no, like if you don't remember as a kid it being a weeknight, and if you don't remember as a kid it being a weeknight and you're hearing the Seinfeld theme song, and Jerry's doing his stand-up routine. If you don't vividly remember that because your parents are watching it, you're not a 90s kid. Sorry. Not a 90s kid. From Andrew, thoughts on the NBA trade deadline? No Kyle Lowry. Pacers sat back and watched. Tough to do anything when the Nets are that good. Yeah, I mean, I was going to address it. Victor Oladipo finally goes to Miami. We can, put that to rest. It's like his 8th team in 5 years. I mean, he wanted to be there all along. He lived there in the offseason. Like, he was pushing for Miami. So thank God that's done. He's very, very overrated. He has one good season as a pro, literally one good season as a pro, but is what it is. I'm sure the music video scene down there is really good for him, so that's nice. But yeah, I talked about it yesterday. The Pacers are just tough to watch, dude. They're super boring. I don't find them interesting at all. They're in NBA purgatory, the absolute NBA purgatory. Like 2 games below 500. They're just it's a rough go for them right now. From Harrison, my buddy, give a review of that sandwich last night. Yeah, so what I was talking about earlier with that couple that was like doing PDA and everything, when I could finally not be distracted by their nonsense that was going on, I got a beer cheese steak sandwich, and it was phenomenal. On like a hoagie, and the bread was kind of toasted, steak with some grilled onions and some beer cheese at the tap. Whew, it was money. It was really, really nice. From David, stop being a dog. Awesome. Just wants to get involved on the show. Hey, I love my happy boy. He's my co-star. I mean, if he wants to come sit with me, look, he's napping down there in his little corner that he likes. After I told you, he goes through like 10-minute little spurts. He's going wild with the cup, and now he's sleeping, which is fine with me. I don't care. He's the co-host of the show. When I did a Dunner review, he was sitting there right by my side. He was damn near eating them. From DL Milburn 11, any person at Barstool that you really want to collaborate with on content? I've been lucky, man. I mean, I've really like, I've done stuff with going back a year now because I've been there a year. I've done stuff with Big Cat, I've done stuff with PFT. I've had Clem and Riggs, and I collabed with 4Play Pod doing some voiceovers for them. I'm trying to think of that the impersonation video where I was auditioning for Monday Night Football. Carl was in there. And now I do trivia. I do trivia probably once every couple of weeks. So I'm in there with Zod and Big Ev, and with Jeff D-Lo and whoever we're facing. So I've been lucky, dude. I mean, I've been able to collab with a lot of people, being remote, even where I am. So that's been good. I guess Dave. I mean, I haven't really gotten to do anything with the boss yet. So maybe I'll be able to get him to come on the show or something like that. But it would probably be Dave if I had to say. Patrick Hughes, if you're born after post 95, you're 1,000% a 2000s kid. Thank you. Like I said, next time you want to have this debate within yourself or with a group of people, stop and ask yourself, do I remember the Seinfeld credits and theme song going into like Cheers or Frasier on like a Tuesday night? Do I vividly remember that in my head as I'm like playing with a toy or like working on some homework? If you don't, you're not a 90s kid. Plain and simple. From Steven, the Steelers definitely need to take an offensive lineman in the first round, right? I'm like 75-25% yes. There should be a lot of really good ones available, or not a lot. There should be a couple of really good ones available at 24 that should honestly probably be a plug and play. So, if the Jenkins kid from Oklahoma State's there, if you like the Mayfield kid from Michigan, I know there's another one I'm forgetting, but I think a guy from Alabama, not Landon Dickerson, the center, talking tackles. Maybe Landon Dickerson, though. And he is coming off the injury, so maybe you could cross your fingers and hope you can get him in the second round. I don't know. I'm about 75% take a lineman, 25% if Najee Harris or Travis Etienne's there. It's hard to pass up. Especially I'm a Travis Etienne guy. I think if you pair him with Big Ben, he's a guy who catches the ball out of the backfield. He's a nice safety valve for either Big Ben or the next young quarterback that comes in. And then after that, you go, second, third, fourth round, load up on linemen. So those are my two routes that I'm looking at. And hey, I got the text, draft show. What is today? We're about a month out. We're about a month out from the NFL draft, and I can't wait. And it's going to be awesome. I love the NFL draft. From Matthew, your Final Four in the Indy Bar March Madness bracket champion. Yeah. So if you're either coming to town for the tournament this weekend and for the Final Four, or you're an Indy native and you know exactly everything, you need to follow Barstool Indy. We're doing my guy Cam is doing a lot of great stuff. The Indy Bar Madness, 64 options in our 4 different neighborhoods around downtown Indianapolis that you can go to, that you can check out. If you're wondering, hey, this is, trying to get some food, trying to get some drinks, it's all there. Barstool Indy, 64 bar bracket. I think in mine I had in Mass Ave, I had the Rathskeller, Meridian, Georgia, I had Tin Roof. So that's the 1 seed, the 3 seed. And then I had the Dugout, which is the 1 seed in Fountain Square. And then Broad Ripple, I think I had OPTs, which I think they might have gotten upset. I think they lost last night. I have to check. And then from there, I go the Rathskeller versus the Dugout in the finals, and I have the Dugout over Rathskeller. And people gave me a lot of shit for that. People were saying I'm on drugs and I'm crazy. Let me explain myself. The Dugout has a really, really good inside area that they've renovated, and they also have an awesome outside area. Rathskeller has a kind of smaller inside area. It's more known for the beer garden. So you have the more options there with the Dugout in Fountain Square, to where if it's shitty weather like it is right now in Indy, you can go inside, be fine. But if it's a nice day, you can be outside and have that same kind of beer garden type of experience that you get at the Rathskeller. Now, and the food is better at the Dugout. I like the food better at the Dugout. It's more pub food. It's just, you get some wings, you get some loaded fries, some nachos, the sandwich, great tenderloin, all that kind of stuff. Now, I will say that like tomorrow it's supposed to be a high of 73 in downtown Indy. Sunny skies, like it's going to be beautiful. I will say on a day like that, then the beer garden at Rathskeller, that tips to them. So if it's perfect weather, you got to favor Rathskeller a little bit because the beer garden is just incredible. It's huge. There's so much space, even in a pandemic. Even in a COVID world, you're like, all right, you feel all right because it's so spacious out there and it's outside. They usually have live music going on, so that's the reasoning. Rathskeller versus dugout. Majority of the time, dugout, but if it's a perfect day, you got to go Rathskeller. Either way, good. Check out Barstool Indy. For and my blog that I did. I ran through like my evening that I choose to do on everything when it comes to Indy and all the neighborhoods. So you're set. You're good to go. From Vikes228, go Mac Jones. He would be great. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that I've seen, like Mel Kiper and Daniel Jeremiah, and I think even Stephen Shea has him going 8 in his latest mock draft. And then a lot of the other guys have him going to New England. They think that's going to be like a perfect fit there. So now it's looking like he's not even going to make it to Pittsburgh at 24. I don't know. I see what you're saying because you got Big Ben and, he's going to be there for a year. So then Mac doesn't have to come in and be the starter and then he can be ready to go for the year after. I get that. It just scares me a little bit with what he played with at Alabama, that kind of thing. That scares me a little bit. Because he had such a loaded squad and it was just so easy for him that I'm like, man, how's that going to transition? Is he athletic enough? I know he ran like a high 4.8, so it's not like incredibly slow, but it's also not, what Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or Trey Lance is going to run, or probably even Zach Wilson. From Matthew Rhodes, add Tim's Bakery, Rise and Roll, Rebellion, General American Donut. Okay, awesome. Yeah, if you could like DM me those, honestly, Matthew, because I need to have those where I can write them down and know where to look them up and go to. So from writers, are you planning to move to New York City or staying in Indy? Right now I'm staying in Indy just because it broke out that way to where like we didn't know what the winter was going to hold for New York City. And we don't know exactly how COVID was going to break out there. Plus my wife just got a new job, here. So I have other parts of my life and personal parts of my life that are different to where it makes it to where I can't just up and move to New York. That and we just started the Barstool Indy page and would like to continue to grow that. The tournament's here right now. The 500 is going to be in May. That they're saying is going to be. They've already sold 170,000 tickets. Roger Penske, the president of IMS, says that he's hoping, and the goal is to have 250,000. So a lot of stuff to do there. And then Jay Snowden, Mr. Snowden, just came out 3 days ago, and said that Indiana, hopefully by the end of April, for the Barstool Sportsbook and Penn National Gaming to be here. So I'm like, I've got all that in my backyard, plus the things going on in my personal life that just don't make it easy to move out to New York on a whim. So I mean, I'm here. I'm here for right now. From Garrett, favorite Star Wars other than Revenge of the Sith, because that's the best Star Wars ever made, and it's not even up for debate. I mean, here we go. Now you're doing the Kaboli thing. You're just doing it with Star Wars. Like we started off the show talking about how Kaboli is, bitching about The Office and how it isn't funny at all. And now you're going to say that it's not even up for debate, that Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars? Come on. It's absolutely up for debate. Because Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars, and that's not up for debate. Yeah, I mean, I forget exactly what my rankings have been for that. I know I did it last year. But I do know that Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, New Hope, like those are all top up there for sure. But Empire Strikes Back, no doubt. From Koofy Sliv, Johnny Slivka, what's up, my guy? Good to hear from you. Pick one, extend KB or extend Baez in 2021. Oof. I'm more of a Baez guy. And again, that's, just because I like Coke, just because I prefer Coke doesn't mean I hate Pepsi, or Sprite, that kind of thing. But I'm a Baez guy, plays shortstop. He's been healthier. I think he just continues to show like more even more potential than KB has. Like it kind of feels like KB's kind of topped out maybe. And I love Chris Bryant. I always will. But I'm just a hobby guy. So, hey, it's 10 o'clock. You guys are awesome. This was great. We had Glazing 5. Frank the Tank stopped by for a little bit. I figured out Twitter to post a show on here. So now I'm going to be doing that every day. And I can wake up with you guys every day on Twitter, and it's going to be awesome. So thanks for being here with me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. New content every day. Link to the merch for Cup of Joey stuff, for Indian Sanity, for the Juju One Last Ride shirt, all below in the description. I got those reminders out of the way. Thanks for waking up with me as well. Boyden's Bakery, 4.4 out of 5. Remember that. So for me to happy, have a great weekend. Enjoy the games. I'll talk to you Monday.